Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to our channel. Today we have very special guest, Navina Nirada, prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, prabhu. We are very happy that you're here with us. Navina Nirada Prabhu is very famous for his Sankirtan in ISKCON and also inspiring lectures. And now he's in Bulgaria with us to inspire us for Sankirtan, for devotional service, for our Ratha Yatra. So we are very happy. And Prabhu, how you came to Krishna consciousness? What is your story?
Hare Krishna. Thank you for hosting me here. My story is pretty much ordinary in the sense that, I was a young kid who was going to boarding school in the Swiss Alps, and then in my arts class, a friend of mine, he was drawing a picture of Prabhupada from the Bhagavad Gita. And I was drawing a Buddhist Lama. So I asked him, what is his book, And he said something very special. I said, can I have it? He said, no, you can't have it. I can show it to you, but you cannot have it. So I got curious. And, when you tell a 15-year-old you can't have something, then you know what happens. And that's exactly what happened. So he invited me to the temple. And I went. I came late because I thought, no, this is way too early. So when I came, everything was already over. But they had saved me a plate of prasad. I remember the smell of incense, and I ate cold dal, and there was some salad. But it was pretty amazing. And what really impressed me the most, and what stuck in my memory, is that the devotees were so generous. They were so kind with their time and explaining things to me. So one devotee, he just came down the stairs and he showed me his japa mala, he showed me japa beats, and then he said, you know what this is? I said, no. He said, okay, it starts like this and you do like that. And then he handed me the beats and said, this is for you. You chant 4 rounds every day. I said, okay, good. I can do this. Yes, sure. I'm a sports guy. Sir, yes, sir, I will do. And then they explained to me vegetarianism. It made sense. So I became vegetarian that day. And they gave me books, everything, very generous with sharing Krishna consciousness. It was very natural. Everybody was super friendly. So I started practicing at home. And when my mom came back from vacation after 2 weeks, I was already very fixed in my practice. I mean, how fixed you can be after 2 weeks, but I was determined to continue.
And you were 15 that
Yes.
time. Wow.
Yes. So I was still going to school. I was in 9th grade. And every day after school, I would go to the park behind my house and chant my 4 rounds and read Bhagavad Gita and first canto Srimad Bhagavatam. And it was very interesting, a lot of new ideas, a lot of new concepts. So I wrote down questions and things, that didn't make sense or I couldn't really understand, grasp, because it was a new world. It was a new, terminology. But there were 3 devotees at the temple who I could call practically any day of the week, day and night. And they would answer my questions. So that was really amazing because, people who just invest time into you and affection, and there's nothing in it for them. Basically, like I'm a nobody, and I'm a kid who goes to school. I don't have any money. I don't have any, So yes. What do they see in me? But yeah, Amatattva, Rajavidya, Gauralila, these 3, they were always willing to answer my questions. So I found that very touching. Then my friend, he joined the temple. So I went to visit him, and I saw him down in the basement next to the kitchen with a huge mountain of pots. And he was washing these pots, and he didn't wear any shoes. And so I was thinking, wow, this is the real thing. These are real monks. They're really doing it. Like, this is austere. This is really full surrender. So am I ready for this? Well, I don't know, but we will see. So that was quite impressive. And he had a huge smile from ear to ear. And he was super happy. Much more than I had ever seen him before when we went to boarding school together. So then there was a summer camp on the Swiss farm, which was in Ticino, in the southern part towards Italy. And we had a camp there for a week, like a retreat. And that was quite amazing. My dad also came to visit me. And yeah, I was getting more and more involved in Krishna consciousness. We had Rath Yatra, and then there's a big festival and a wedding and big tent, and thousands of people showed up. The TV came. It was a wonderful experience. So then throughout the summer, I participated in different events. The devotees went out on Harinam. My mom allowed me to visit the temple twice a month. So every other weekend, I went by train from my town. Is about an hour journey to the temple, public transport, and I assisted at whatever the devotees were doing. So we went out on Harinam down by the lake in Zurich, and we were chanting Hare Krishna and distributing halava and lassi and invitation cards. So I already got into the habit of distributing things and interacting with people, so that, you know, how to catch them, how to talk to them, how to give it something to people who are seemingly not that interested, but maybe curious, maybe neutral, maybe critical. So that was a good experience. We went to a few open air music festivals where the devotees set up camp and did massive prasad distribution in Harinam. So that was also really nice. That's all in 1984. Yeah. And back in the day when we were young, beautiful, and stupid.
I wasn't still born.
Yeah.
And not born.
So, and yeah, then I assisted devotees in book distribution. I went out with them and carried their books and saw what was happening, first hand experience of the magic, how people change from being seemingly very cold and nonchalant to becoming literally touched and changed, transformed. So that was very, very attractive. So I heard about the Christmas marathon, the Prabhupada marathon that day. Devotees were going out, everybody was going out in December. And so I had the plan that I wanted to take part in that, not miss that opportunity. But there was a problem. I'm 15 years old. I haven't finished 9th grade. My mom wants me to finish school. And so, you know, I had to devise a plan how to extract myself from this situation. Every morning, I was offering puja to my altar, and every evening I was having artik for Lord Nrsingadev, and I was praying intensely that if you get me out of here, I will dedicate my life to you. So, one time I was doing Nishinga worship, and my sister was knocking on the door, and I ignored her because I didn't want to be disturbed. I'm doing my worship. So then when I stopped and I came down, I asked her why she came to disturb me. And she said, "Oh, there's one of these guys who came at the door with the books, you know, and he was ringing." And I said, "No, we already have one crazy guy upstairs. We don't need more of this." So I said, "Where, what, who, where? Why did you tell me?" So I went out looking for him, and I found him on the street. And he was having a really rough time because a conservative neighborhood, big houses, people didn't really take or show much interest. So he was a little down. But I was totally enthusiastic. I was devotee, Hari Bol, Hari Krishna. And he was surprised, you know, I'm more fired up than he is. His name was Nrsingadev.
Wow.
So yeah, one time I went to school, I saw one of these trolleys, you know, and there's the same trolleys that also the post people are using, but I opened it up and I saw Prabhupada's books and I had goosebumps. I went looking for that devotee. I found him. It was right next to my school. And so he took me to the van and we shared prasadam together there. He had this break and talking with me and explaining what we're doing and how, and it was really wonderful. It was really touching. It was very, very beautiful experience. So I made this plan that I want to I want to join this marathon because, I'm not going to miss this. This is the best opportunity. But I needed my mom's permission because I'm a minor. So I had to do what all of us in one way or the other have to do at some point in life, that we have to break with tradition and move out on our own and innovate in order to do what Krishna wants us to do. So I had to break my mom's heart in order to make her proud. So I said, I'm not going to eat anything that you cook, and I'm not going to touch your pots. And I was using a lot of incense and a lot of music, and was making things quite exceedingly difficult for the other family members in the house. So my mom had said, okay, you finish your 9th grade and then you can go in spring, and that's fine. Because she's a pious person, she's, good Catholic mom. Mm-hmm. I wanted my younger brother to get involved because he was curious. So I gave him japa beads. But my mom took them away. She said, look, I have 4 kids. I give 1 to God, not 2. Okay, 1.
Wow.
I said, okay, bro, I'm sorry. You're on your own, You gotta fight it out with mom. I'm going to go do my thing. So then I made things, a little difficult for others. And at some point, my mom said, okay, you can leave, but you have to leave right now. And she started yelling. She said, you go right now.
Oh, wow.
And I said, yeah, sure, but you have to sign here. And then she was having doubts. She was like, yeah, but then you're gone. And I'm like, no, I'll go, I'll try it out, and I'll come back, don't worry, it's all going to be fine. So she signed, Yoga Maya, Krishna just fooled her. And
he was 15 still?
Yeah. And so I called the temple and said, I'm ready, come pick me up. So I had my briefcase, my suitcase, my winter jacket, everything was ready, and my bicycle. So they came with the van, picked me up, and went to the temple. I joined on a Thursday, and I went on traveling Sankirtan on a Sunday. So I stayed 3 nights at the temple, and I didn't come back for 15 years. Basically, I was on the road.
You didn't finish school?
Yeah. So then, because I was too young, I just assisted other devotees in that marathon. And I was carrying their books. I was doing grocery shopping, was counting the Lakshmi. And I would just observe what they were doing. And it was really nice because I could see the magic happening. I could also see them struggle, how they dealt in difficult situations. Some of them were really taking off. Some of them were really struggling. And it was kind of time for them to change ashram or to change service. So I saw this transition happening right in front of my eyes. So it was very, very instructive. It was a very interesting experience. And then we tried to serve in different capacities. At some point, we inherited a lot of French books. And so I was sent to the French part of Switzerland to distribute those books. So for about 5 or 6 years, I was heading up a team who was distributing Prabhupada's books in French in the French part of Switzerland. It's about 2 million people who live there. Mm-hmm. And it was an interesting experience. And then more and more, I was invited and asked to go to different parts of Harikesh Maharaj's zone. So I would visit Germany and Scandinavia and other parts, former Yugoslavia. That was part of his zone twice a year, and then traveling internationally. So then things really took off. And I started going all over the place, doing workshops and seminars on book distribution and preaching. So basically that's the story, in short.
In short. Oh, amazing, actually.
And here we are. Yes, 40 years later, right?
And you've been doing only Sankirtan this all time?
No, I did a few other things, but when you have a certain gift, when you realize that this is my talent, this is what Krishna has empowered me to do, then we can try many things, but we always kind of fall back on on what just seems to be the most natural, the most, the most right thing to do.
Mm.
And so, yes, I've served in other capacities. I've attended meetings and gone to different types of events and phases in life. But this was the baseline. This is like the foundation. And I'm glad that Krishna has allowed me to serve in this capacity. I really appreciate and value this. And, in devotional service is absolute. So we should be willing and ready to do any service that comes our way. Not to say, oh, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I can only do this. Because Prabhupada was doing everything. He was giving us the example. He was writing, he was publishing, he was distributing, he was managing, he was preaching, he was cooking, cleaning, counseling. He was doing everything. So who am I to be picky? But still, we realize where we are the most well suited. And then we'll also do the needful. Wherever there is a need, we're willing to try to help. That should be our attitude.
Yeah, right.
Anything else you wanted to know?
Okay, what is your schedule now? What do you do in the year, through the year?
Well, I travel and I go around and try to inspire a few devotees and give a few classes and distribute books. So basically that's my schedule.
Okay.
And then in the winter I spend more time in India, working on my sadhana, on my own practice, because sometimes when you travel and you have constant engagements, it's a little hard. But yeah, that's usually in former times. There's Chaturmasya, people would stay put in one place for 4 months and not travel. So they had time to do deep study and bhajan, and then they went out and they were doing traveling and preaching again.
Nice.
So it's kind of a good cycle. It's a good rhythm.
Okay, another question. What about your mom? Is she proud of you?
Yes, absolutely. She's very happy, and so, yeah, she was always very favorable. But just that transition, of course, was hard for her. But yeah, we're in touch, and she always asks me to pray for her and chant Hare Krishna for her. She also came to India in the 90s one time, visited all the holy places, and she really liked it. Of course, she could only remember, the food, the animals, the kids, but she has great appreciation. And so, I try to communicate things in a context, in a way that she can appreciate and she can relate to it. And she does, but she also, said, look, I can't remember all these complicated names and concepts and ideas, and like I'm a simple woman, and this is my religion, I'm Catholic, and I said, it's all perfectly fine, same God, no problem. So we have to be considerate and also understand people's background and people's capacity and their limitations, and appreciate them in what they can do.
Yeah.
When you go around to different devotees in different parts of the world, what, in your opinion, is the most difficult thing for the devotees in order for them to be preaching successfully and in order for them to have successful sadhana?
Well, in order to have successful sadhana, in order to preach, you have to have sadhana, because you can only give what you got. If you don't have it, you can't give it. Yeah, I can tell you read these books, but if I'm not reading or I'm not chanting attentively, then I'm really a hypocrite, because I'm telling them to do something that I'm not doing myself. So to invest quality time every day into our own spiritual practice, not just because of okay, it's expected, it's duty, it's convenient, or the pain goes away, but I love Krishna and I want to associate with Krishna by reading the Bhagavatam, by chanting the holy names, and by sharing Krishna's message with others. So then preaching becomes quite natural. It's like, it's just sharing the overflow of what you experience in your own daily practice. It's not like now we have to go and move some product and we need some money or we need some more people to we need more working units here in our team. But really, somebody was, extending themselves beyond expectation to show kindness to me. So as a token of gratitude and of appreciation, let me take this process seriously, apply myself, and also share it with others. So it's a natural progression. How hard is it to communicate something that you truly like? Like you like to worship deities, you like to cook nice offerings for the Lord. How hard is it to communicate that to others? You like prasadam, so it's not difficult to give prasadam to others. You like Prabhupada's books, it's not hard to share them with others. But if I don't really feel strongly about any of this, then why would I try to give this to someone else? And as far as the greatest obstacle, I would say not taking initiative, thinking that someone has to tell me. Now, there's nothing wrong in being told, but it's 2025. We're in a different phase of the movement. So if you're in Russia or maybe India, you will always have people who will tell you what to do and what not to do. But if you're in the rest of the world, no one's going to tell you what to do. So, which is a good thing if you know what to do. But if you don't, not much is going to happen, because there's not going to be a Sankirtan leader or a temple president or a guru who is right there next to you, who will tell you, okay, now you do this and you do that. But it's basically up to you. And so to take that initiative, which is culturally not there in many parts of the world, because people are just used to being told. And so to educate devotees that Prabhupada wanted us to be, self-reliant and independently thoughtful. And that doesn't mean that we speculate and we, in the name of innovation, we do all kinds of strange things, but that we understand the concept of unity and diversity. Krishna likes variety, but he also likes unity. So that requires a little bit of intelligence applied. So that's an art, and that art is being refined when we are in the association of sincere practitioners who can help us to get better. Because otherwise we might think, yeah, I'm doing great, I'm doing fantastic. Like I was 15, I thought I'm a monk. And, I went out on the street and I was, a little arrogant and a little pushy. And some people looked at me and said, what? You're a monk? Does your mom know that you're here? Like, what are you trying to do? And then I realized, well, maybe I'm not quite there yet. Maybe I need a little more work. And so I started telling people, okay, I'm studying to be a monk. I'm a student. And they went like, okay, he's a student. Yeah, you're a kid. I get it. Okay, yeah, I'll take a book. I'll give you something. So to be, acting according to our level of realization is a requirement. Prabhupada was unconditionally loving and at the same time completely detached. And that combination was very attractive, highly attractive. And because he did not have a superiority or an inferiority complex, people considered him their friend. And people are looking for friends. People are looking for friends. So if we have that samadarshina, that Vasudeva Kutumbaka, that attitude of, Jiva Doya, acting according to Rupa Goswami's formula of, Yukta Vairagya, that we're not stuck in tribalism or nationalism or cultural conditioning, but we can meet people eye to eye and say, look, I understand where you are at, because I've experienced the same thing. And, this is what I did, and I'd like to share some of my experience. Then people will be willing to hear, to listen, and to participate. But if we speak from a position of imagined superiority or from fear and insecurity, then people will try to distance themselves and not connect, because it's not attractive. So these are some things. Also not to, wait for a miracle that, this has to happen or that has to happen, or the weather has to change, or, the government has to change, or we need a new management. These are all externals. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told Srila Prabhupada at their first meeting, that, to think that we have to wait for political change is not really useful, because things always change, and you can't wait for ideal. This cannot wait. Krishna consciousness cannot wait for external situations to be more favorable. In fact, situations that are the most difficult, like Gita was spoken at Kurukshetra, difficult place. Bhagavatam was spoken when all the yagyas failed. So that's when Parikshit was cursed. So that's when, tragedy creates opportunity. So never waste a good crisis. So don't think, let me wait and write this out, and then things will get better, and then I'll become a preacher, or I'll distribute some books, or I'll do something for Gurudev or for Prabhupada, for the mission. But to take initiative and understand, if I want to instigate change, I have to start applying change to myself. I have to change my perception. I have to change my attitude. And then my universe will change. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for your kind attention. We wish you happy Sankirtan experience. If you're not happy the way your life is going right now, or the way the world is going right now, or the way anything is going, then please join the Sankirtan movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chant and dance every day, distribute Prabhupada's books and prasadam, and share your heart with other people. And you will be surprised. People will pay you back in the same currency. They will actually open up. Yesterday I met a young man from Egypt who was quite intrigued. And I asked him, how did he end up here? And in Bulgaria. And he said, my girlfriend broke up with me, and I just needed a new chapter, a new phase in life. And so I've been here since 3 years, and now I meet you, and I feel that this is a sign. So he took 5 books, and he was very interested to know more about Krishna consciousness. So these experiences, you can have them any day of the week. It's just a matter of getting out of the door and venturing into the great unknown, and then see how Krishna does the magic. And he sends people your way who are more curious, more sincere or enthusiastic than you and I probably could ever be. And that's quite amazing, because sometimes you meet people who go like, wow, this is amazing. One time we were distributing books at a rock concert in America. And one young kid, he was running around with half a page of a book of Prabhupada. Somehow a book got ripped up, and he ended up with half a page. Wow. And he read that half a page. Wow. And he was frantically looking, where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of it? I found gold, but where is the rest of it? Nice. And so I'm like, hey, calm down, I can help you out.
I'll give you the whole book.
Yeah, so you meet people who are more excited about Krishna consciousness than you or I are. And that's quite astounding, because it shows Krishna Shakti Vinana Hetara Pravartana, that it's not a mechanical process. It's not that somebody has a monopoly or is commissioned to do this, and the others are just the audience, the spectators, the customers. But Krishna can empower anybody. Srila Prabhupada treated everyone who walked through the door as a future leader of the Hare Krishna movement. And there were some pretty funky people. There were some pretty interesting characters who came. And believe it or not, what happened? They became the future leaders of the Hare Krishna movement. And they brought Krishna consciousness to every town and village. And they did amazing things, and also other things. So, yet Krishna consciousness is here to stay, because Nitya Sira Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kabunoi Shravanade Shuddha Chitta Koryodoi. This is our inherent nature. It's not like something external that we're here to put on a show, and we dress up and we do a little bit of this, and then we go back to let's just be normal people. What does it mean, normal people? You jump in the car and you drive down to the mall and you buy stupid things that you don't need to impress people that you don't like with money that you don't have, killing time till time kills you. Or let's get real and dig a little deeper. Why am I here? What's the purpose? What's the goal of the human form of life? And for that, we are eternally grateful to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada to give us his wonderful realizations in his Bhaktivedanta purports. And we have this in a very highly shareable form of Srila Prabhupada's books. So please read Prabhupada's books every day. A day without reading Prabhupada's books is a day wasted, so don't waste time. Some of us are getting older, as you may have noticed, and we realize we may not have all the time left, all the gas in the tank. We may have to get a little serious about this. So this is a good opportunity. Thank you for paying attention. And if you want to excel your progress, you want to rapidly advance, the fastest way how to learn anything is by teaching it. So people will start asking you all kinds of questions. They will challenge you. And that's very good, because it forces us to look a little deeper into our own practice. So please share your heart and share Prabhupada's books in the holy name and prasadam with others. And you will see how Krishna is all attractive. And the process works. It works in any country, in any place, in any situation. It doesn't really matter. Wherever you are, you're there. You're in the right place. Yaradeke tare kaha Krishna upadesh, amaragya guru hai tare desh. So wherever you are, whoever you might be, just share the message of Krishna with others in a sincere way, in an honest way. And in this way, you become a spiritual master for the people where you are. And that's how Krishna consciousness will spread and will expand exponentially. Thank you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.